What you have heard from are 13 of David's close friends tonight, some people that he holds near and dear in his heart, and they've gotten a chance to take shots at him. And now it is David's turn to come up to the stage. Before he comes up, make sure you fill out those cards, hand them to a volunteer, and help the big brothers and big sisters of Central Arkansas. That is why we are here tonight. We're going to draw the raffle in just a few moments, but please give a standing ovation to the man of the evening, Mr. David Bazzel.
No standing ovation. All right, it's getting late. Thank you. You're very kind. I'm going to be real brief here. Thank you all for coming. Governor, it's such an honor to have you here. As you can see, I set you next to a lot of the former athletes because I know you play basketball and other sports, and this is to be the closest you'll ever come to being an athlete here at the table. I would never say anything real negative about you because the guys I work with will probably need a pardon in a few years, but we're really honored to have you. You've done a great job as a governor. The First Lady, Susan, thank you so much for being here. I think we've got a fantastic governor who leads by his conviction, and we're excited about what you're going to do with the rest of your career here at Arkansas as a governor. Keith Jackson's going to be great when he goes into the National Football Hall of Fame. Even though he played tight end, he will now go in as an offensive tackle, as you can see. Keith changes lives every day at Park. Love what you do for kids. You're making a difference. Joe Klein, poor guy's out of work again, back to the barbecue. Nobody's a better dad than Joe Klein. Have so much respect for you as a parent and the kind of father you are. Matt Jones, he has been able to play and make some of the greatest plays against the greatest athletes ever. It's been great to watch him not be able to do anything against his wife because his wife rules his household. But I love Matt, what he's doing. I think we're seeing him blossom in the last year. And Matt, appreciate you and proud of you where you've come from. Pat Bradley, the only guy who's a nice guy and when he gets drunk, he gets angry. So we don't like for Pat to get drunk. Pat's as big of a personality as when he walks in the room, and love Pat, and we're so glad that he came from Massachusetts and decided to stay here and become an Arkansan. Pat, love you. Steve Sullivan, he's got ADD. He told me he trained me to be on Channel 4, and true story. They go, he'll tell you what to do, David. I've never been on TV. I'm not joking. He spent less than 60 seconds. He could not stay. He goes, you'll be fine. And I embarrassed myself for the next 6 months on Channel 4. But nobody does a better job with sports television than Sully. He does a great job, dedicated to young people, promoting sports, and just has a passion for it. And I love the way he does that. Thank you, Sully. Frank Fletcher, really, tonight was a big waste of time. Frank could have just cut a check for this whole night tonight, and we wouldn't even have to be here. He's the richest guy in the room, in the state. Only guy who's still paying alimony to the woman he's married now because he divorced her the first time. That's a true story. Love you, Judy. God bless you. Nobody sticks by your side more than Frank Fletcher. Love the way he gives. And Frank, I don't know if you're 75 or 80 now, but you live life like you're 30. And you set an example about how you can always get better every day, and I really appreciate that. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being my friend. Rex Nelson does the Touchdown Club every week. We don't pay him, but he gets multiple trips to the buffet to do the Touchdown Club recap every week. He's an Arkansas treasure. Knows so much about the state and puts it out there every day. Rex, thank you, and glad to have you in the state of Arkansas. My buddy Wally Hall. Wally Hall is probably the only guy who's had a more miserable love life than I have over the last 20 years. We are two losers when it comes to love, but I will say he's got a great woman right now, and Monica, and she's here, and please, Wally, don't screw that up. Wally's been my friend for a long time. Wally supported almost everything I've done from when I came out as an 18-year-old here, 17-year-old, came to Little Rock. He supported a lot of these ideas I have. He supported them in every way possible. And Wally, I can't tell you how much I've always appreciated the support you've given me. You look down there, you see Bill Vickery. Bill Vickery is the only guy my age that goes out with girls younger than I do. And you know if Bill has had a big night on the town Saturday night because when you turn on the radio for a show, there's a female in the studio. I'm not joking. The old line is, hey, I've got a radio show the next morning. Would you like to be my guest? It's a great gimmick. It works. It works. And Bill, one of the most talented guys in the country as a political analyst. He's got great skills, super intelligent. We're lucky to have you here in Arkansas, Bill, and thank you. Beth Hunt, I'm not going to say anything about Beth. I've given it to you for 10 years, but I love the way that you've been able to come back and you can just give it back to me. And nobody's a more dedicated mom than Beth Hunt. I love that about her. She's a super mom and loves her kids in an unbelievable way. And the last two guys I want to acknowledge, I got everybody, I think, here. Yeah. Roger Scott, I know, Roger, you think may be intimidated by all these great athletes up here, you know, because what they've accomplished, the things they've done, they're number one, they've won these. Man, Roger, a few years ago, was number one. Nobody did more cocaine in Saline County than Roger Scott did. I'm telling you, he was number one consumer. And I'm not joking. But the great thing about Roger, no, it's coming under the table. But this guy right here is one of the most talented, funny guys in the country. He's been sober from drugs and alcohol for 8 years, sets a great example for everybody. You can't find a guy with a bigger heart that'll give you the shirt off his back, plus a super talented guy I get to work with every day. Roger, love you for who you are. Tommy Smith, you know, if you listen to the show, listen, I don't need to watch a soap opera because every day or week with Tommy Smith is a soap opera. It could be a spider bite on the way to work that makes him miss a week. It could be driving a car through a flooded street, then it blows up on him. It could be having a seizure live on statewide radio. I mean, the guy's a soap opera Karen, God bless you. The woman that's the unbelievable that stood behind this man through all the ups and downs. And if Tommy's not having a crisis every week or two, something's the matter. But I will say this, when Philip Johnson asked me, would you do a show with Tommy? And before he could even finish, yes. What a legendary guy, almost 40 years in the market, number one year after year after year. But the most important thing is that I saw him almost die before my eyes. I really did. It was one of the worst things I ever saw because of alcoholism. And I didn't know if he'd make it. Really didn't know if he would make it. Not only has he made it and been sober for 5 years, but now that same Tommy Smith, outlaw, dude, he's making a difference in people's lives and helping other people. And who could have written that script a few years ago? So, Tommy, I love you, and I appreciate what you do now. And, yeah. And I'll close by saying this, is that I'm so thankful to have my mom and dad here. And do want to thank the Buzz and all the sponsors. You all wrote it's very humbling to see how many people bought tickets tonight. And but we're here. You know what we're here for? Is Isaac Smith still here? Is it past his bedtime? Where's little Isaac? Stand up. Let's give Isaac a round of applause. Stand up, Isaac Smith. That's his mama next to him, and that's the Nash family. That's why we're here. The greatest thing in this world is love, y'all. I'm so thankful that I was blessed that my mom and dad showed me love, because it's the greatest force in the world. And you know that every day 5,000 teens attempt suicide. And over the course of the year, 5,000 are successful. 150,000 will self-mutilate themselves in some way, will harm themselves in some way. And so if we don't do something now, those kids are the ones we're going to read about walking into theaters with guns. Those are the kids we read about up in Conway that killed their grandmother, you know? And so it's so important what we do. You know, there's a parable in the Bible about the man who built his house on the rock and the man who built his house on the sand. And you know what happened? The one who built his house on the rock, man, the storms came and floods came. It was solid. The guy who built his house on the sand, it was gone. Well, the problem is, y'all, our young people, so many of them, they've had their house built on the sand, and they have no help. And it's not their fault. And I want to applaud the governor for what you're doing with foster care. Nothing breaks my heart worse than know somebody, a kid, that feels like he's not loved. It's horrible. It's one of the most heart-wrenching things that I can think of. So I just encourage you to continue to realize that we've got a battle ahead. There's still a lot of kids that we lose every day. But I do want to salute big brothers, big sisters for making a difference, because there's some kids that need somebody. And if you don't have the time to do it, maybe cut a check. Or maybe if you can find the time to do it, go give some of yourself. It's the greatest thing in the world. Love will really change things. And, I came to Arkansas a long time ago by myself. And it was me and the Lord. And God, I was so thankful that I knew that God loved me the way I am. I didn't have to be a great player. I didn't have to do anything. He accepted me the way I am. And because of his love for me, I'm successful. All I've got is 2 trophies to show for it after 50 years. No kids or anything. Those are my kids. I take them out for drives every once in a while. You know, nobody's even acknowledged them being here tonight. They've been completely ignored the whole night. But I want you to meet Cliff Harris and Frank Brule's award right there. But anyway, thank you so much. I'm so humbled to be here. All you with big brothers and big sisters, you're doing a great job. You're making a difference. It's the greatest thing in the world when you can make a difference in somebody's life. So thank you. I'm blessed. And Chris, you want to come up and close it? Thank you very much. I love you. I appreciate it.
David Bazzel, everybody.